that wasn't like a plan. I actually just was doing elimination things, and the better I felt, that was just kind of what I settled on. So yeah, I just slowly got rid of, first all the spices. I got rid of the dairy, and yeah, I just basically ended up at B and E, and that's been that way pretty much since, yeah, January, probably mid January of 2023. So I guess that's kind of, strict, but I don't feel that way. I mean, it's easy. It's so simple and easy.
All right, John.
Well, I guess it all depends on what your definition of strict carnivore is. Some people's definition is a lot stricter than my particular view. I I keep my carbs below 5 grams a day. So if I get some jerky or something that's got some carbs in it or something, I won't go anything more than 5 carbs a day. I do put heavy whipping cream in my coffee, and I drink coffee every morning. And there's some people that say that that's not carnivore. So if your definition is that you can't drink coffee, then I'm not strict. But that's the only extent outside of animal base that I ever go. I drink bottles of water all day long. This is probably my sixth or seventh bottle of water today. I don't drink any other type of sweeteners. I don't have anything else other than coffee in the morning, water all day long, and I try to stick to beef, bacon, butter, eggs, and I will throw in, like tonight we had pork chops, and we may have some fish or shrimp, but it's always animal based.
All right, Becky.
So I am technically ketovore, and I define that as 10 grams of carbs or less per day. But I have really tightened what I'm eating right now, so I don't do dairy. And I gave up Diet Coke. I've never been a coffee drinker, so Diet Coke was my caffeine delivery system. So when I say 10 grams of carbs, that is going to be for me just from maybe some onions, some salsa, some avocado, cucumber, something like that. Nothing really sweet. Like I don't eat anything sweet unless, okay, I do use a protein powder. So that does, I think, have a little stevia in it, but it is not particularly sweet. So not very, I am not, I cannot buy Carnivore Soldier's shirt, which I want to because it's really cool, but I would be a liar. So
to be fair, I traded shirts with him. He's got one of mine. I got one of his. So I didn't buy it. But
well,
I am Ken Berry carnivore. I'll go with that. I'm on the Ken Berry carnivore diet.
I'm Nisha Berry. She did a video about how she decided not to say she's carnivore anymore because she gets too much heat for it. So,
all right, Greg, how about you?
Well, since I've only been on carnivore roughly 10 days, most of you probably know I lost the bulk of my weight doing keto, basically ketovore, low carb diet. And just after 10 days, I would say I'm pretty strict. I'm probably less than 2 grams of carbs a day. And that's just in the drink that I have. Other than that, I would say I'm pretty strict right now, and I plan to continue to be that way just for the fact that, I'm just going good on carnivore, and, I had a pretty good weight loss the first week, and I want to lose a few pounds this week as well. So.
All right. So for me, I like to be strict carnivore, but that doesn't always happen. I'm probably legendary for my mistakes and my eating bad here and there. Not like I do it a lot, but it seems like every time I'm in a live stream with somebody and they ask like, how's the diet going? It's like, well, this one time this thing happened. So I do, I guess the point is that I do struggle still with cravings, and I will be fine. And then there's just one little thing that I might eat one little thing that I shouldn't, and the craving just comes right back. So I have those problems, and I want to be able to say that I am very strict carnivore, but I in my heart, I know that I should not eat any carbs, but I still do it sometimes. I try and stay away from the bad stuff. So we're talking like stuff that has sugars and seed oils. Those really are the ones that I think are the worst for you. I try to stay away from them as much as possible, but um, I'll give an example. Just a few days ago, I had some roast and I made a little bit of rice that I had in with it. Shouldn't have done it. I did. And actually, there is more sugar or carb, I should say, more carb in rice than you think. I looked at the nutrition label. I was like, great, I'm not going to eat half of this now. So that's me. And yeah,
So
let
me ask you
me
this, Brad.
catch us up. Yes.
How many carbs did you eat before? Do you know?
In the
Back in the
standard
day.
American diet.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It was
I mean, let's
so
put this in
much
How many
work.
packages in a Nutter Butter package? Ugh. Can eat the whole thing.
Literally, and this is why I was as big as I was, but there were times like Oreo cookies packages, I could literally eat the entire thing in like a day of Oreos myself.
Yeah. Especially the
I
vanilla
go-
ones. Those are my favorite.
I go to fast food and eat the French fries and drink soda and just, yeah, I can't even imagine how many carbs I used to eat before. It
Yeah.
had to
I
been
mean, I don't
horrible.
think any of us have actually sat down and tried to come up with a number, but I guarantee you the number will be astronomical. So when I say that I eat no more than 5 carbs, or you say you eat no more than 2 carbs, or we are talking about really, really strict compared to
Big
where we
changes.
used to be.
Hmm.
So and the
I would
fact
get
of the matter
done
is
with the
there's even
Oreos. And
there's a little bit of carbs in meat, so there's no such thing as a no carb diet. You're going to have some carbs.
yeah,
at
eggs
some
have
point.
carbs in them.
Yeah, eggs have some carbs in them. I mean, there's some carbs out there,
Cream has some.
but if you're keeping your diet under 10 carbs a day, you're really strict on restricting carbs out of your diet. Are you a strict carnivore? That's up for debate on who you ask. Everybody's got their own opinion on how strict you got to be on this diet. I say as long as you're doing well and you're losing weight. That's why people like, aren't you going to stop the coffee? Why? I'm doing well and I'm losing weight. I feel
Yeah, I
wonderful.
mean-
My health is good. At some point, if that changes, I'll reconsider. But I see no point in changing right now. I like my coffee. I don't put any sugar in it. And I put some cream in it. And that's my morning ritual. I like that warm cup of coffee in the morning. It's not even really about the caffeine for me. I like that morning ritual. Sitting there relaxed, drinking a nice warm cup of coffee.
Yeah, I mean, I think when I eat eggs, I get 15 grams of carbs because I eat 24 eggs at a time because I do OMAD. And so when I'm eating eggs, I think I get 15 grams of carbs just in the eggs. But I mean, that's why I don't really like I kind of agree in a lot of ways. I sometimes get annoyed how, everybody's got their idea what carnivore is, and then it kind of creates this division, because everybody gets upset about, well, it's got to be, they look for these markers or something to just gauge everything on. And if you go past that, then that throws you out of this click or something. And to me, it's just like, how about just what makes you feel best? I really think truth and meaning is all that matters. Does it making results? Is it making you feel better? Are you losing weight? Are you better off because of it? I think
the power of this diet is the simplicity.
Totally.
It is literally simple. Stop trying to make it complicated. Cut your sugars, cut your fake fats, eat animal based, and you will thrive. It's as simple as that. Everybody wants to complicate it. What's your macros? How much fat are you getting? How much of this are you getting? What are you doing here? If you eat that, you're not carnivore. Kip got attacked because he was eating shrimp. They're like, well, that's not carnivore. Last I checked, shrimp's an animal based. These are silly things that people get in their heads. And if you followed my channel for a while, this one gets me going. Is it, you don't have to make it complicated. Keep it simple. The KISS principle, keep it simple, stupid, and just follow it. Beef, bacon, butter, eggs, and if you need a little bit of this or that to make your day work, then do it.
Totally.
Yeah.
I didn't actually follow a diet plan when I landed where I'm at now. I just was eliminating things that were not making me feel, if I took it out and I felt better, I had more energy, it was more effective, then I left it out, and that's what got me to here. But I'm not following a plan and or somebody's regimen, and I'm not doing it because wanting to stay within this guideline or something. This is just what I found that works for me. But on the flip side, when you guys were talking about Paul, my brother, he's got to have some fruit, and it's crazy. And I mean, he's got the most willpower of anybody I've ever seen, but he doesn't have a weight problem. He doesn't have an insulin resistance problem, and he's very lean, and he works like a heart attack all day long. And just because of, I think, his low body fat and his high, output every day, it helps him to have some carbs every day. And, I know that he's telling me the truth, and I know it has nothing to do with him having a carb craving that he's trying to fixate on. It actually is he said, he's like, I got to be able to work all day. And he goes, I don't have that energy. I don't have that explosive energy. So me and him are just metabolically different. I was on this way further side, and who am I to tell him that he shouldn't be feeling good every day, because it's working, and he's healthy, he's skinny, he's lean. He's got crazy out, he's 11 years older than me, and he can outwork most guys 20 years old under the table. But the carnivore lifestyle has been huge because he got diagnosed with MS, and he had spinal stenosis and MS, and the carnivore diet completely turned all that around, and he's thriving, but he needs a little bit of fruit. He needs those carbs to be able to have that output every day. And me and him are just different, but he's never been a big, he's never had a weight problem, he's never been that addicted to sugar like I was, so he's got a different thing. And I think I can't do fruit because I'm a sugar addict, and it would wreck my, my whole, mindset right now, and it give me the cravings back, and it's just not a benefit to me. But for him, it's just not a problem. So I don't really know what the answer there is, but I'm sure not going to fault him for it,
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to catch us up on a few quick things in chat. Limitless Lindy is here. Actually, she posted this about 10 minutes ago. Sorry we're late, but good morning.
Hi, Lindy.
Hi, Lindy.
Howdy, howdy.
That's an amazing story right there.
She's amazing.
Hello, Peachy.
100 pounds a month. That was crazy. It's amazing.
That's
Wow.
the carbohydrate portion of her, like people don't think about that word has the word hydrate in it, it's
like
all about retaining fluid.
Yeah, it's like, what is it, 6 molecules of water per molecule of carb or glycogen.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know the science, but yeah.
Peachy Pam in Maryland says hello.
Howdy, howdy.
Nicole had already said hello, but now she's saying go Eagles. Big Philadelphia Eagles fan. So put that out there. So I think I caught us back up for the most part. Oh, here we go. We're just talking about Limitless Lindy. It was mostly water weight, edema, inflammation, but still a win.
I know how that goes. When I was at my
Can't
peak
move
there,
when you're like that. Yeah.
at my peak there at, when I was way over 700 pounds, I think I got 150 pounds of fluid off in, I don't know, first couple months. It was crazy.
Yeah. All right, so I got us caught up in the chat. So I'm going to go back to what I was going to go with then. So our original topic, success stories, and we talked a lot about the different successes. And I'm going to just go around to everybody here and just like a quick answer, I guess is what I'm looking for. Give me your number one success that was not weight loss. So I'm going to start with you, Todd.
I think the number one victory is kind of a package deal, but it is the fact that for 20 plus years, excuse me, every diet that I'd been on was just a ton of stress, and you would go to bed hungry every night, and you would just pray that you wouldn't fall off the wagon the next day. It was always this hammer that was going to fall, and it was going to fail, and it was just always there. You were relying 110. In my case, I was always relying 110% on willpower, fighting hunger, fighting depression, fighting all that stuff. Now the biggest win out of all of it is that's all gone, and I wake up and I don't worry one bit. I have no even slight worry that I'm going to fall off of this diet, because it's not even a diet. It's just the way it is now, but it cured everything. That's why I picked this name for my channel, because I really do believe that it's not a fad diet. It is the cure, and I'm completely cured from, I don't have to go to bed hungry. I don't have to worry about falling off the wagon. I don't have to worry about temptations or addictions. It's completely gone, and that's the biggest win to me.
All right. That's a great win. John.
I'm having internet bumps out here. Ask the question again. I'm sorry.
All right. So your number one success story that was not weight loss, so some sort of non-scale type of success that you've had.
Number one, it would have to be my blood sugar. My diabetes. So if you back it up here, I've been dealing with this. I don't know, probably. Well, I mean, you can go back 20 years when they first started diagnosing people with high blood pressure. They started saying, your sugars are high, but they're okay, but they're high. And you start getting that conversation with the doctor. You fast forward 10 years, I moved to Tennessee, and that was the first thing the doctor was like, well, your blood sugars are, they're right there borderline. You're starting to get high. Don't really explain to you, a lot of detail about this. So you start going down this road. And then one day you go into the doctor and he's like, well, your blood sugar has reached this magical number. Welcome to diabetes. That's literally how he presented it to me. Welcome to diabetes. Now this is what you're going to do. And he started prescribing metformin. And then, I mean, he freaked the crap out of me. I thought, by the way, his term and the way he presented it, I thought it was dying, and the whole blood, taking your blood, checking your blood, doing all the things that come along with it. And ultimately I ended up changing doctors because it just, it was just crazy. I had to go find somebody that he was just too over the top. It was like that was on his sign. He was a diabetic doctor, and so it's like everybody he got there had to reach that level. That was his specialty. So everybody that was going through there at some point was going to reach that level, and then he was all like, almost like excited about it. That here you are, now we can start dealing with this. No, I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to be a diabetic. And so, I struggled with that for a long time, and I was ornery at first and didn't want to take my medications. And, of course, my wife's a nurse, and, she'll give me that look. And, I've begrudgingly been taking, the medication up until recently. So finding this diet and getting, losing the weight, losing the sugar, getting my A1C down and being able to come off of metformin, that is a huge personal victory for me, because I don't like taking any type of medication. I don't even like taking your over-the-counter medication. I don't, I'm the type of person, if I get sick, I just want to get well. I don't want to have to take a medicine to get well. I want my body to heal itself and get well. So taking medication has always been against my grain. So I'm extremely happy to be off of metformin, which that stuff's horrible. I don't know if any of you guys have ever taken it, you know what it tears you up. You know, over a long term, you start feeling a little bit better, but at first, man, the stomach, it just feels like somebody's kicked you, you know, right square in the stomach, and it just stays that way. So that would be my number one. Diabetes, off medication, being off my blood pressure medication, that's huge. I mean, I was convinced that high blood pressure was just something that you got from being old. And now I've quickly realized that high blood pressure has nothing to do with being old. It has everything to do with what we're consuming in our diet. And by consuming this diet, I've dramatically turned my high blood pressure around. And I'm more than confident by the time I hit the 1 year mark, I'll be completely off of all my medications. And that'll be a huge victory for me. So that's where I'm at.
All right. Before I go to Becky, we have a quick question for you, John. I'm missing what is on your shirt. Can you let Tam know what your shirt says?
Yeah, so the shirt, let's see if I can, sorry, I gotta move my chair here. This is Carnivore Soldiers shirt. It says 100% carnivore, Resilient Warrior. So you can get these from Carnivore Soldiers YouTube channel. And here, I'll show you mine. Hold on a second. This is my shirt. It says, carnivore diet, stay wild. And I have a variation of this. It says carnivore life, stay wild.
That's on my wish list.
All right. All right. So, Becky, let's go over to you now. Non-scale thing. One, your best.
Number
success.
one, I do not struggle with depression or anxiety anymore. And I am able to do things because of that I've always wanted to do. I've always worked full-time, but now I can work full-time, help with my youth group, help in the nursery at church, run a women's Bible study, and start my YouTube channel and go out for hikes. My life has absolutely changed. And it's it's not because of much else. I mean, my faith and my diet. That's what has changed.
All right. So, Greg, your turn.
Oh, the number one thing I would say since January, I thought I was going to be disabled the rest of my life. And this has changed everything for me. I have a lot less pain. I'm happier. I've lost 92 pounds in 8 months. It's totally changed my world, and the sky's the limit as far as going forward and what I'm going to do with the rest of my life. And helping others is something I want to do and just make a difference for others. Because, if I can do this plan, anybody can. And, that's my non-scale victory. I have my life back.
That is great. All right. For me, there's a few things that are really up there, but I'm going to go with the AFib thing. I know I talk about this a lot, but this is huge for me. So, again, I was having a lot of AFib episodes, probably a couple a week. And I was at the point with the cardiologist that we were looking at, potentially doing an ablation where they go in and they freeze the spots on your heart that the electrical signals are getting mixed up. And one of the risks with that is if one of the spots that is having that problem is the part that does your beating, then you'd have to get a pacemaker. So for me, going to carnivore and not having another episode has been life-changing for me. No longer are we talking about the ablation, and we're talking about I've been on a blood thinner because of AFib, and we're talking about potentially taking me off of that blood thinner. I don't know if I've lost enough weight yet, but that was kind of the last step. Like, okay, you haven't had any episodes, but let's see if you have lost enough weight to where the risk of stroke is low enough, and the risk of going into an AFib episode is low enough. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. But that for me, that's got to be number one. And I don't hear a lot of people in this community talking about AFib, probably because a lot of people don't have it. But there are people out there that do have AFib, and so I try and talk about it just because I want to get the word out there for the people that do have it, and know that, you know, potentially going low carb or even completely no carb could help your AFib issue, and that could be, you know, completely life changing for somebody.
Yeah, I can confirm that. When my mom was in AFib for 73 days, and they were scheduling her for, this was when she was like 76 years old. They're scheduling her for surgery for a pacemaker. And I was like, man, maybe you should give this a shot. And I looked up, I know Dr. Berg takes some heat, but I kind of like that guy. And I looked up his video on it, and we put her on carnivore, and she took vitamin B, nutritional yeast, ox bile, and bile salts because she didn't have a gallbladder. Anyhow, long story short, within 3 days, she went out of AFib for the first time in like 76 days. It was crazy. Yeah, but she never had to get the pacemaker. That's been, I don't know, almost a year or something.
That's great.
Yeah, so it was funny. How long did it take you to get out of AFib, or were you always in AFib? Or
so for me, most of the time, just having medication, a beta blocker was enough to get me out. A couple of times I had to go into the hospital, and they gave me stronger medication through an IV that got rid of it. One time, I couldn't seem to get out of it, and they actually shocked me back into normal rhythm. But that worked to get me back into normal rhythm. So I didn't have quite to the degree of what some people have, where they're just constantly living with it.
were you taking any electrolytes for that at the time, or?
So originally, no. And my cardiologist put me on a potassium and then over-the-counter magnesium. And I started that about 7 months before doing carnivore. It didn't seem to make a difference. If anything, I was getting worse. So I don't think that magnesium or potassium was an issue for me. I can say that more recently I had an issue where I got dehydrated and my electrolytes kind of got out of balance, and I noticed skipped heartbeats. So I didn't go into AFib, but I had skipped heartbeats, and I took a little bit of salt with water, and that helped it some. And then when I took like an electrolyte drink mix, that seemed to get me out of that issue, and so the skipped heartbeats went away.
Yeah,
So I did see that from electrolyte imbalance once.
I almost think when we get on carnivore, I think it does heal our gut microbiome, and I think that actually helps us process the electrolytes quite a bit better.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm gonna put this on the screen real quick. Quick plug here for Carnivore Backwoods. This is all of your shirts, or just the one shirt that you were talking about?
This takes you to my store. This is the Carnivore Life Stay Wild. So it's the same shirt with the wolf on it, except for saying diet, it says Carnivore Life, which seems to resonate better with some people. So I've sold a bunch of those recently.
Yep. And then from there you can, and then look
I
around
got
and see his other.
I've made a few other things. I got a couple other shirt designs on there. I just did a whole new shirt design that seems to be popular too. Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see if I can find it here.
So Greg, you got an update on
Brian, don't you have some t-shirt designs that you just did too?
I do. Greg, why don't you give us a quick update on the game? I don't know if San Francisco's
Um,
Discord or not, but
Yeah, it's
and then
San
we'll talk
Francisco
about my shirts.
17, New York Giants 12 with 4:58 left to go in the third. So it's a little tighter game than I thought it would be for sure.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
That's like the second sack of him. Okay.
Okay, so let me bring up.
You mind if I do
I
something
did
real quick?
just start. Yep, I did just start selling shirts, but go ahead.
Let me try something here and see if this works. That
There you
working? That's my new T-shirt design. That says Carnivore Life, and then down here it says,
Oh, I
feeding
need
my,
that.
It says "Feeding my inner beast, one steak at a time."
Love it. I need it.
So that's my new design, and then Brian's got some cool shirts too. You guys should check those out.
Right. So I will put it out here. And let's see. So let's see if I can actually share this. I don't know. This could be scary. Let's see what I do.
Hey, I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right.
Everybody, make sure you hit the like button, hit
Yeah,
the subscribe
thanks,
button.
everybody.
Give all these channels some love.
Thanks for inviting me on.
So here you go. Here's some of what I have out there. I got the Carnivore Strong shirt design that I just did. There's actually, can I go into the, let me see. There are aprons, mugs somewhere, I believe, in here. I thought maybe. Oh, products. I thought there were some mugs in here too, but maybe there's not. But then there's a few different ones. I got Carnivore for Life, 100% carnivore with the bowl, and then also with your wolf. So I got a few different things out here. I actually like this most recent one the best, this Carnivore Strong one. So
That's nice.
So
Do
that
these
is
shops
up
give you the
online.
options for like V-neck for women? Because
Yeah,
I see a lot of scoop necks, and I prefer V-neck. Looking for
Becky,
V-necks.
I will create you a V-neck shirt and have it posted. Which design do you like best, though?
Carnivore Life
The Carnivore Life with the wolf, or
with the wolf.
Stay Wild?
Yeah, Stay
Okay.
Wild.
I will put one up there for you.
Thank you. I'll
Sweet,
order.
there you go. All
San
right.
Francisco just kicked a field goal.
So we're at 20-12, late third quarter. Okay.
These shirts are considered unisex, you know, the ones that we use most of the time, but I will put up a female shirt with a V-neck with the design on it. I'll put that up for you, or anybody else that wants it for that matter. And then I'll shoot actually, I'm going to give everybody a discount code for being in the Facebook group here tonight. Let me find my Facebook code, or my savings promo code. Hold on a sec. I'll find it. Go ahead and talk, guys. I'm sorry.
All right, so we're caught up on comments. So if there's anybody out there that wants to chat, ask us any questions or talk about your own success stories, go ahead and put stuff in the chat for us. Also, looks like altogether over all the channels, we've been up around 20 or so people watching. Make sure that you're liking and subscribing if you like the content. So, there's 5 of us on, and you might not be subscribed to all 5 of us, but we all have probably something different that you could relate to. So make sure that you check out all of us. And if I actually go out of here, you can see all of our, except for mine, but mine is at Wicavore instead of Wicco's Carnivore, but everybody else has got their at the Carnivore Cure here for Todd, at Carnivore Backwoods for John. Becky is at Keto Vogorian. Did I say it right? Close
Keto
enough.
Boragonian. Boragonian.
Vogorian.
It's
Boragonian.
Oregonian.
Life.
Is what
Like
in Oregon they refer to themselves as Oregonians, and she's saying keto Oregonian, so it's keto Oregonian. Keto. I've done this. I've said it right, Becky.
Yeah, you can say it,
Keto
John. You can do it.
Keto Voro. It's a tongue.
Ah,
That's how
Keto
I feel
Oregon.
too.
Or no.
Thank you very much. I sure
Oregon.
appreciate it.
I'll get it. Give me a minute. But you see, I used to live in the West
just
Coast.
yeah, just don't say Oregon,
Oregonian.
people.
Keto
No Oregon.
Oregonian. Yeah.
No
tongue twister.
Oregon.
Oh my god.
Yeah, but it's, and maybe someday I'll change it to Carnivoregon, Oregonian, and I won't even be able to say it. So Carnivoregonian.
So one hope for all subbed Carnivore Cure. So
Thank you very much. That's awesome.
Thank you. And
I
here
just-
is-
You spelled it wrong.
Huh?
Tam spelled Oregon wrong.
And then
Here's
some
his discount
comments
code,
in
by
there
the way.
about shirts. I will throw up some female shirts that are both V-neck and round neck. I seen all the comments in there. I will get on that. Here's the deal,
Thanks,
and I'll throw
John.
this out while Brian's working there. Tomorrow, I'm headed to South Carolina for the meetup with Intentional Carnivore, Kip, Carnivore Quest. And so I'm going to be on the road tomorrow. And then, of course, this is me and my wife's 24th anniversary. It's technically next week, but we're going to celebrate it this weekend. I have rented a Airbnb cabin in the North Carolina woods that we're going to spend a quiet weekend together, and just shut off the rest of the world and the internet and stuff. So if I don't get it up this here tonight or tomorrow sometime, I'll have it up first thing next week.
Thank you.
All right.
I'm
Hey,
working
Brian, I'm
on
gonna
a
give you a
brand
quick-
design.
Brian, I'll give you a quick update on your Coastal Carolina. They're getting beat 27-10 with 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter.
Oh, that's not
Boy.
sounding very good for them. All right. I'm working on somebody asked for all the channels links, so I'm working on putting that together. So if you guys want to keep the conversation going while I do that, that'd be great.
We're not doing a very good job.
Well, everybody talking what?
I was going to say, I'm doing a
Thanks,
live
guys.
interview with Todd on Monday night at, what was that, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time, if I
I
remember
believe
right?
so. I believe
Yep,
so. Yeah.
so we'll be getting together for a live on Monday night. So that'll be fun to touch base for sure.
Yeah, it'd be a good time. Yeah, maybe I'll. I've been waiting to tell a story about how I got banned from Six Flags in all the Six Flags in the United States over a over a dispute over funnel cake. It's
Really?
Oh, yeah, save that one. That's good.
yeah. I feel like that'll be my
I
family
wanna
loves
hear
that
that one.
story.
That sounds like a good story. I'm going to
Okay.
go on a hike this weekend to Sweet Creek Falls, and I'm going to video some of that and talk. So
Okay, that
What part
looks
of
really
Oregon are you in,
horrible the way
Becky?
that worked.
what part of Oregon?
Yeah.
Eugene, the South Willamette Valley.
So I had some friends that lived up in Bandon by the bay,
Oh, yeah.
Bandon, Oregon. They're right there on the coast. We used to
Yeah.
go up there. We go deep sea fishing and crabbing and stuff. That was always fun.
I lived in Coos Bay for 5 years, just north of there,
Yeah,
where the big
Yeah.
port is. Yeah.
we've been all through there. Me and the wife took a trip all the way up California through Oregon, going to all the lighthouses, and so
Aw, yeah. The closest lighthouse to me is Heceta Head. It's very pretty.
there.
And there's a beautiful, the lighthouse keeper's house is still there. And it's a bed and breakfast type thing.
Oh, is it really? That's cool.
Uh-huh. Yeah. But you can also take a tour of the downstairs. So it's Very cool.
All right, so I put all of them in the chat, but if you're on other people's channels, I don't know that you can see it, so I'm going to put them into the screen here. So here's Carnivore Backwoods. And afterwards, by the way, I will make sure that they are all in the description. Well, that'll be off of my channel. Everybody else has to make sure it's in their description.
I'll
So
do
yeah.
that too.
Yeah, if you can put them all in the description, that'd be great. That way everybody can then see them. Here's Greg's at My Weight Loss Life. Here is Todd's at Carnivore Cure.
Should be
Uh,
at
actually,
the Carnivore
yeah.
Cure.
Oh, I'm sorry. Geez. Yeah. Good catch.
That is my
question
Twitter handle, actually.
is it?
They
Do
wouldn't-
you
they didn't
has
have me.
Uh,
has
Sorry,
Judy
sorry.
Cho ever reached out to you? That's the name of her book, The Carnivore Cure.
No,
Hmm.
and you know, people have told me that, and I never had heard of that book when
Never
I picked
heard
it.
of her?
No, and the thing was, I just literally went on YouTube, and when I was setting up my YouTube channel, and I entered the Carnivore Cure, and it said it was available, and I was like, oh, okay, great.
Her channel's Nutrition with Judy. Yeah.
I
Different.
got you. I should try to say sorry. I really wasn't trying to steal it.
You didn't know?
No, I had no idea.
Somebody's interviewing her. I just saw. She's super smart, like over my head smart.
I'll have to look her up. A lot of people have told me about it, and I was like, I had no idea, actually. I was surprised that it was available when I typed it into YouTube, and then I typed it into Instagram, and it was available, and I typed it into TikTok, and it was available. So, and then my Twitter, it only takes 15 characters, so it's just Carnivore Cure on TikTok or on Twitter. But yeah, I was surprised it was available, and then I was not surprised to find out that somebody had wrote a book, though. I was like, well, I
Yeah,
thought that was
that
super
book
neat.
is really techie from what I understand, really sciencey. But she has,
One
I
hope.
think she's writing a book that's more of a lay person's book now,
I gotcha.
right now.
One Hope for All, sub to Carnivore Backwoods. So thank you. That's John's channel. Thank you for doing that. So all the channels are now linked in the chat here, at least. And hopefully we'll be able to put it all in our description so that everybody can see them as well after the fact.
I appreciate that, bud.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
right.
So,
Let me check. Did I miss anything?
what's everybody working on this week? What type of things? What type of videos you got planned? What are you thinking about putting out?
Man, I'm just, so I'm way behind on putting videos out, but I got a long list of them, and I haven't put a video out in 3 weeks because I was moving areas where I make videos, and I just finally got back in here, but I got a long list, and I am going to try to cram out some this weekend. But mainly for me, it was, I got a guy that's in Canada that's starting carnivore, and I told him I'd make him some videos on how I got started anyhow, to kind of give him the first steps. So I made one, and I got to make him a couple more because he's going to start on Monday, But then after that, I want to start tackling, just, man, I'm so surprised how much it helped me when my mind changed, when I started getting exposed to the truth about, my whole life, I just thought that, I didn't have the willpower other people had. I was just weaker than other people. And every time I'd fail, it was, it just hits you hard and it just takes all your hope away, because every time you fail, you just think you're never going to get it, And when I finally started realizing, the system's kind of built against us on purpose, and it's built to beat us down and keep us on this insulin roller coaster, on these processed foods and on these drugs. And so we are fighting we're fighting a pretty good pressure against us, an opposing force. And so it helped me a lot when I woke up to that, because then I just stopped. It gave me a lot more hope to understand, the knowledge and the information gave me a lot more hope to really understand what was going on. And it got rid of all that beating yourself up, and so you could focus on finding your right path and, just getting healthy. And I want to kind of focus on that, because there's a quite a few things that woke me up that really changed my mind and my view on that.
That's outstanding. You know, content's hard. You know, and I got videos. I got all kinds of videos that I've thought to myself, I got to do this, and I've created notes. And you know, I'm trying to get them cranked out, but you know, sometimes you struggle at it. I got an interview that I did with this lady that was, you know, absolutely great interview, and I need to finish editing it. So that's going to be on the top of my list for next week, is to get that interview edited and posted. You know, early next week. I got to get that done. What are you working on, Greg? Oh, we lost Greg.
Well,
He's got to go work on it right now.
Yeah, he's like, oh yeah, I got a video I got to go do.
so
Becky, what
so
are you
real-
thinking? What are you working on?
real quick before we go to Becky, so One Hope for All was asking about where the links were at, and she's on the Carnivore Cures channel. So
Oh,
I don't
okay.
know, Todd, can you just pull from what's
You
in our
can
chat?
copy and paste.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just paste them
so-
back in, and then they'll show up on your channel too. That way she'll see them.
Okay, so I'm going to show my ignorance here. So last night was first night I tried to link. I think that obviously this is playing on my channel. The other night when I was on live,
I think she moved channel, or he moved channel. I'm not. One
So-
Hope for All moved.
Oh,
said,
she's
I'm
here
Okay,
now.
I'm here now.
oh, okay, yeah, because I was gonna say I don't
moved
know. I'm not sure because
Oh,
what
okay.
just for my own information, how would I go about doing that? Do I have to go to my own channel and type in the comments there?
Yeah, no, so you would just have to do it right here under comments
Oh,
here in
okay.
StreamYard.
Okay,
So
then
what
I'll do
happens is when
And
we're
it goes
using
to yours.
StreamYard and we have multiple channels going, and let's say I post something, it only goes to my channel, or like I have a Facebook and a YouTube thing going on right now. So it goes to both of those, but it doesn't go to everybody else's. So for somebody to see it on your channel, for instance, you would have to post it as well if they're just on
Okay.
your channel.
All right, so I copy it and I put it in right here in StreamYard, but it'll go to my channel. Okay. I am way new at this. I think my channel's 4.5 weeks old.
Oops. Here we go. All right. So she's there.
She corrected me and said I'm a she. Sorry.
Oops.
Oh, I missed that. I keep clicking on the wrong thing. There we go. Greg is back. His internet crashed though. All right. So we went to Becky on the question. I'm sorry. What you got going on this
Yeah.
week?
So I am going to do my weekly check-in on a hike. That's what I'm doing to Saturday. And then I also want to just kind of recap this interview I saw with Dr. Westman and Dr. Tarman about food addiction. And I love that she talked about how they're not in the realm, like doctors will say, oh, you can't be addicted to food. And so they're trying to get a term together that will really, really speak to what the addiction really is. And right now they're probably settling on processed food addiction, you know. And I remembered in the Dr. Barry, I think in the live, was talking about how, you know, what we call food can't even really be considered food. What's on those shelves, right? So we call it food, but it's not nutritious. It's not what your body wants or needs. So that would be a more apt term. So I just want to talk about that a little bit. How does addiction work, what we are really addicted to, and how to get over it.
That's good stuff. Greg, I asked you and you disappeared on me, so you're welcome back.
You might want to repeat the question.
The question is,
You're working on.
what are you working on? What videos, what content are you creating this week? What are you up to?
Well, tomorrow's my eighth month of being on a weight loss plan, so I got a kind of a bigger video plan for that. Hopefully tomorrow I'll be able to get it out. Gosh, there's so many other things I'm working on. I'm working on a website right now. I have a lot of people reaching out to me wanting help with weight loss, and I need to get kind of a roadmap out there to point people in directions. So I'm kind of working on that right now. Definitely, I've got a live interview next week and just creating more content. I try to do. I could literally do videos about every day on things I see. And just things I experience, and just going to continue to work on creating more content, setting up more interviews with people. I like to kind of give some of the smaller channels. I'm a small channel too, but like a bigger voice, and just try to get their story out there and help others. That's I guess what I'm going to be working on here going forward this next week.
All right. Brian, what are you working on?
So I have an offline interview with one of the health coaches in Dr. Barry's PhD community that I'm doing tomorrow evening. So that interview will, be scheduled onto YouTube probably in the next few days. So I have that thing coming up. And I have a live next week. It looks like next Monday with JT, Poco Moonshine Fam. And then, John, you and I have a live next Wednesday. And then it looks like probably next Thursday we're doing the low carb football party live again. So I have a lot of lives coming up here. In terms of content, I've been trying to work on some things. I've got probably at least a handful, if not 10 different ideas out there. It's just a matter of making sure that I've got everything researched right, doing the recording and then the editing and all that. Sometimes those videos kind of take quite a bit to do all that different stuff. So the lives end up being a little bit easier. So that's kind of where I'm at right now.
Nice.
Cool.
I forgot to say too, one thing I wanted to mention, I'm pretty excited about. I'm going to be on with Dr. Baker on October 6th on his channel, and that's
fun.
going to be amazing.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. So,
What do you got, John?
I have a live on Wednesday with you. And then Sunday, I have my, not this coming Sunday. Let me say that next week, Wednesday, I have a live with you. Then the following Sunday after that, I'm going to go back to my weekly 1 o'clock live on Sunday, my regular carnivore roundtable. We'll have that live. Then I have a live with Becky that evening, I believe. Isn't it on the first, Becky? I don't have my calendar in front of me.
It was the 8th. It's the 8th.
The 8th.
Yeah.
I got Mike Shaw on the 1st, Becky on the 8th, and Carnivore Kip on the 15th. So I have 3 interviews back-to-back Sundays after my live on Sunday too. So I'm going to have 2 lives each Sunday for the next 3 weeks after this weekend. So that's what I have planned live wise. I'm going to do a book review on Ken Berry's Kicking Ass After 50. It's an excellent book. I highly recommend it. I recommend getting the audio version of the book. The book is great to read, but the audio version is actually read by Ken Berry and the other author. I can't think off the top of my head right now. And then there's commentary in between the chapters. So it's like a book and a podcast all wrapped up in one. So, if you want to get that book and get through it, I really recommend the audio version of the book because it's really good to have all their input along with the book itself. And so I'll be doing a full review on that this week. And then I got some other stuff I'm gonna work on. I bought an air fryer. I'm thinking about doing a review on it, and just whatever comes to mind, I suppose.
All right.
So I'm getting ready to jump out of here, but I wanted to share one thing here real quick, if you don't mind.
Mm-hmm.
As everybody knows, this is my 24th anniversary. And I want everybody to know that I married above my pay grade. This is my beautiful wife and me. 24 years ago, when we got married at the Chapel of the Bells in Reno, Nevada.
Reno, Nevada. That might have been where I got married the first time.
Did that
I don't
post up?
remember.
Is
That
my
was it,
picture up there?
1981.
Didn't I- Oh, it's in the thing there. You have to click on it, Brian, I guess.
What's that?
I tried to post the picture up.
Oh, yep. I'm just not paying attention. Sorry.
There it is.
There you go.
Aw.
So,
Happy anniversary.
Happy
Thank you.
anniversary. That's
in
awesome.
that picture, I'm probably, like I said, probably about 235 pounds, which is about 40 pounds lighter than I am now. And like I was saying at the beginning of the live, or when I came in the live at 9 o'clock, I had the realization over the last couple of days that I can achieve that, and I can achieve it before my 1 year mark. So I'm pretty excited about that. And now I was skinnier than that at one point. You know, my wife's a good cook, and she helped put on a little bit of that for me. So but I'm looking forward to getting there.
Absolutely.
Anyways, there's that. I got to brag on my wife. I love her. So
Sweet.
All right.
I was not a good cook, but I was really good at going through the drive-through.
guys, I got to get up in the morning and drive to South Carolina.
All right,
so
John.
I'm going to call it a night.
Have
I appreciate
fun.
I'm probably post some pictures and some videos and stuff for tomorrow before I go internet silent for the weekend.
Have fun.
All right.
Right on.
All
Happy
right.
anniversary.
Thanks, John.
It's nice
All
meeting
right,
you,
you guys
John.
have a good night.
Right.
All right. We got a quick update in the game. 49ers just got another field goal. I think it's
I'm watching
23
it now.
20 to 12. Yep.
Beyond.
20
Go.
20 or
Kick
23?
that field goal.
Was it
23
20 or
to
20?
12.
23, yeah. So it's 23 to 12 now in the fourth quarter. All right. One hope for all. Good night. All right.
Good night. I appreciate you subbing.
Night.
All right. So let's see. Again, if you have any questions for us, go ahead and put them in the chat. Anything you want to talk about, go ahead and put it in there. I don't know. We've pretty much done our topic quite a bit today. Don't really think I have any other questions off the topic for you all. Well, we really haven't been paying much attention to that game, but I guess it's been kind of boring. At least it seems every time I look at it, it just seems like there's not a whole lot going on there.
Oh, there's a big play.
Oh yeah, I'm still a commercial.
No,
Me
he
too.
fell behind.
Oh,
How much
really?
time's left?
Oh my gosh! Wait a minute. I'm
Are you
nowhere
not
near
live?
live. Wait, or am I?
I'm live.
The only thing
hey,
is
I'm
my
live.
internet crashed, so maybe I'm behind.
Oh, it says I'm live. Yeah. Did you see the last field goal where it's 23 to 12?
No, I didn't. So mine must be
Oh,
behind.
you're
My
behind
bad.
then. Yeah.
I forgot
There
my
you go.
internet crashed.
Oh, okay.
Yep, I'm behind.
So Tam says this Halloween is the 37th anniversary of her first date with her husband.
Ooh.
Congratulations.
We date.
Yeah, Halloween date. So my anniversary with my wife is coming up too. Last year was the big one, 25 years. So this year is 26. And that is next Tuesday. So when I was kind of given my stuff, like I think I said I had a live on Monday, and then I had like Wednesday, Thursday. You notice I didn't say Tuesday. I'm going to be like silent on Tuesday probably because that's my anniversary. So not sure yet what we're doing, but we're going to figure out something. We have a question here. Do any of you buy local bulk beef? I think we lost Greg again. So Todd, you're shaking your head. Let's start with you.
Yeah, I do. Me and my brother usually get, a couple of quarters a year, and then I'd always run out of the ribeyes first. So I go get the rib roast from Costco and chop those up. But yeah, mostly I'm getting ready to do it again. In fact,
All right. Becky, how about you?
I have bought from a friend who has her own cows that they just grow a couple a year, and so she always has stuff. But I haven't been. You know what? I didn't really like the taste of the grass fed, grass finished.
that happens a lot to people.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it does grow on you though. But
I'm
yeah,
sure it would grow on you.
I can get it
But
for
it was
I can get it for about $4.70 a pound for a quarter to a half, or
that'd be
upwards to
awesome. Yeah.
$6.50. Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So Greg, now that you're back on, hopefully you're caught up to live on the game.
Yeah, I think I am.
The question we have here is, do you buy any local bulk beef?
You know, right now I'm not, but part of it is because I haven't been working. So, you know, funds are a little tight. So I just kind of pick up what's on sale at the stores. But once I have some income coming in at some point, I will probably buy local. I know my doctor gave me he gave me a name of 2 different farmers that you can buy from, which I plan on doing. But you know, it's a little bit, you got to buy at least a quarter, maybe even a half of a cow. And it's like, well, you got to have some funds to do that. And I'm just not there yet. So hopefully, you know, I don't know. I'm just, you know, as you guys probably know, my mom's not in that great of health, and I've been kind of taking care of her. And I'm really not going to go back to work. If I'm going to go back to work until she, you know, till she passes, I want to take care of her and make sure she's getting taken care of in her last days. And then I'll figure out a way to start making money. Or like I said, I've had some, you know, I'm getting a website going and more people are asking me about how to lose weight, and I might do some coaching that way. I don't know. Sky's the limit. I've got an organization that contacted me this past week that they want to tell my story. And it could lead to some big things for me. So I'm just kind of just playing everything by ear, trusting God that everything will turn out, I guess. So that's kind of where I'm at.
All right. So for me, buying local bulk, I would love to go with one of the local farms and, you know, get whether it's like a half cow or something like that. But I don't really have the storage space right now. I have the normal fridge and freezer, and then there's a second fridge and freezer, but it's not really enough. So what I've been doing is I've been going to Costco and getting like a couple weeks at a time. So like I'll get like Todd mentioned the rib roasts and then cut them up, or sometimes I've gotten just the individuals, but a lot of times I like to get the rib roast and then cut them up into my own steaks, you know, the size that I want to do. And then I can get other meat from there as well. Last time I was there, I got some stew meat and some chuck roast and ribeye. And chicken wings that I got when I was there. So all that with like eggs that I get just going to like Aldi or something like that. And I got bacon at Costco too. Got like that they come in this like 4-pack of bacon. So I got that. So all those different things pretty much last me a couple of weeks. I'm kind of getting a little bit low again, so we're gonna have to go out to Costco again here in a few days and get some more stuff. But that's kind of how I've been doing it. So
I just got a big 20-pound rib roast today, actually. I'm excited. My dog, she eats 3 of those 5-pound packages of Costco's chuck stew meat every week. I'm like, I don't know where she puts it. She weighs 55 pounds and she eats like 16 pounds of meat a week. It's crazy. I'm like, you're going to have to get a job.
I'm going to try ground lamb on my next
good.
grocery run. Because Sana had a good, you know, sort of a Middle Eastern style recipe on her YouTube the other day, and I'm going to try it.
Lamb is
Yeah.
delicious, I think. Some people don't like lamb. I love it. I think it's lamb chops. Man, those are good.
Yeah, I've gotten the lamb leg things, whatever, at Costco before and smoked them. I haven't gotten ground lamb before, but so Tam says Costco is cool too. I'm on a subscription, get some every 3 months, so it doesn't take up freezer space. Getting all at once. Yep.
Oh, hey, there's something going back to what John was asking future wise, what you got going on. I'm going to make a carnivore sauce that I'm going to make a video on it and show you how to do it and what it is. And I'm not going to spill the beans here, but it's technically carnivore. So I'm going to probably do a video on that because I think sometimes people, especially carnivores, would like to put something on their meat. And if I can come up with the sauce that, is really good, I think that people will be all for it for doing something different. So sometimes you got to change it up a little.
I always ask people, but on that kind of topic there, do you guys ever use xanthan gum to make like carnivore gravy ever?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I haven't had a problem with it, but when I make chuck roast in the crock pot I use kettle and fire beef broth, and then I do the chuck roast, and I like to put the xanthan gum in there because otherwise the fat all floats on top of the broth, and it's kind of greasy. But if you put the xanthan gum in there, it makes it
binds,
a great, and I really like it, but I don't know if I'm not having any problems with it, but I don't know if anybody has ever, had any.
You lose such little tiny bit of it. You don't need a lot. Usually.
Yeah, it's like less than, it's like a half a teaspoon,
Yeah. It
Yeah.
works pretty good.
Yeah. So
I made bacon mayo.
That
was good.
Is it awesome? I've never tried it.
It's really good. Yeah. Yeah, it's good on chuck roast, and
I bet that would be good.
I'm gonna try it. I roasted a whole chicken the other day, so I'm going to try like making a chicken salad with the breast meat to fatten it up.
Yeah,
because I still like chicken.
I love making bacon and like making an egg salad with bacon, but this was when I was ketovore, but I was trying to use that Primal Kitchen avocado mayo, and I can't stand that stuff. It is so gross.
That stuff is poo-poo.
Oh, it's gross.
Didn't like it.
And it's expensive. It's so expensive.
I know. I felt terrible throwing it away, but I'm like, I'm not eating that.
I know. They're like at Costco, I think they're like $17 for 2 big containers, but they are garbage. Ugh. So gross.
Yeah, I got those once
waste
too.
your
And it was not very good.
No, people brag about it and they're like, "Oh, this is delicious." I'm like, "Don't lie, that's not good."
And your taste buds are broken.
All right, so I got a question for everybody, and Becky, we'll start with you. What did you eat today?
I had 4 eggs scrambled with a little tiny. When I say I have salsa, I'm talking not tablespoons, right? And that was breakfast. And then for lunch, I had 2 hamburger patties and some pork rinds and some guacamole. And then for dinner, this is where I'm totally ketovore. So I use Dr. Bickman's companies. It's called Health Code, their protein powder. So I mixed that up last night. You just make it like the shake, but I added butter and froze it, and then I put it in my Ninja Creamy today. So it makes it's a meal replacement shake, but you just use water to mix it. So that's what I had.
You ever put a keto chow in your Ninja Creamy?
Yes, that's what I used to order. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't not ordered. I'm not saying I wouldn't order it again, but I like this better a little bit.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I found that I don't do it anymore, but when I was ketovore, and I still make it because my mom loves ice cream, but I found that you got to use 1.5 packs in the heavy cream to make it decent.
Yeah.
But
I just was, I was using heavy cream and doing it too much. So, trying not to do that.
All right, so Todd, what did you eat today?
So, yeah.
I ate pretty much the same thing all week. And today I had two about 1 3/4 pound ribeyes for breakfast because I do OMAD, so I only eat once a day. And so I had two ribeyes. My eyes were bigger than my stomach, though. I could only eat about 1.5 of them, and my dog got the other half, and she was very happy.
Before I go to you, Greg, I may have missed this. Tam is asking, what do you like better than keto chow? Did someone mention that they like something better than keto chow? Did I miss
Yeah,
something?
she made.
Okay.
What was that? What did you like?
Okay, so I put it in her chat. It's called Health Code, but it's HLTH code.
Here we go.
And they have a chocolate macadamia flavor, and it has stevia, and it has something called butter powder, I think, in it. But it's a meal replacement shake, and Dr. Bickman does use it, and I trust him.
All right, good. So, Greg, what did you eat today?
Before I went to physical therapy, it was about 12:30. I decided I better have something because I was feeling a little bit queasy. So I had a hard-boiled egg and one piece of bacon. And then at supper time, which was, I considered my OMAD, I considered that was a snack before. And as far as OMAD goes for my meal, I had 2 pork chops, a slice of bacon, and 3 eggs, along with butter on basically with the pork chops. I put butter on it. So it was really good. Last night I had 2 New York strips. Those were really good too.
Oh, it's one of my favorites. What's it called? Todd will know this. Todd, what's it called when you buy can you buy a New York roast? I think I did that once and cut my own.
Yeah, they're called a loin roast.
Exactly.
A loin
What's
roast?
it called?
A loin roast. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I did that.
Yeah, they're good for
It was
sure.
great.
It's funny because that's now when I change cuts of meats or how I cook it, I feel like I'm eating a totally different food group.
What'd you eat, Brian?
So I ate more than normal today. I only ate 2 meals though, but so my first meal I had like an 18-ounce ribeye and basically a pound of bacon, just 2 strips less than a pound of bacon. So that was like easily 2 pounds of meat there. And then for dinner, I had chicken wings. Now, let me start with saying they're the little party wings, so they're small, but I had 25 of those and I was still hungry.
Yeah.
And didn't really have anything else that was really ready to go at the time.
Ready.
So I had 2 beef hot dogs as well. So I feel like I ate a lot today for some reason. I just was really hungry and I don't know why. Because that's more than I typically will eat. Like, let's say if I eat like a 18 or 20-ounce steak, I don't usually have bacon or something with it. I just eat the steak. And then maybe later I might have, I don't know, 18 to 20 chicken wings, or I just might have another steak or something like that. And that's it. So I feel like I ate a lot more today for some reason. But yeah, that's what I did. So we'll see.
I have a question for the group.
Mm-hmm.
Do you guys find that with seasonality, obviously the season is going to change to fall? And I know we all kind of live in the northern part of the United States. Do you feel that your body changes as the weather is going to change? Like, it's almost like how certain animals put on their winter coat. Do you think we as people, that affects us different ways with food and eating? Just like, Brian, you're feeling like you're hungrier. Is that part of the seasonal change at all, do you think? Or do you even notice anything like that? I'm just curious.
We must get ready to hibernate. No, because I feel like I do. I feel like there's definitely a seasonal change.
I know I tend to be more tired.
Let's see how it goes this year. Me too.
I tend to be more tired, and then I mean, it's just, I think it can affect your moods and your eating habits and stuff too, obviously. But I was just curious if you guys ever noticed that.
I definitely did before I was on keto and carnivore for sure. I'd always eat way more in the winter than the summer. But I don't know. I did just 2 weeks ago out of nowhere. I was so much hungrier than I've been throughout this whole thing, and I didn't know why. And I got a couple theories, but I don't know if it could be the time of year. But also, I didn't realize it, but we caught COVID again here. Just went through our house, but well, I love it. Before it put me in, on my deathbed, and now I didn't even know I had it. I was like, did I eat something funny? Was something off? Because it was just very minimal. And but I think because maybe it was because I had COVID that my body was trying to do something. But I normally only eat 2 pounds or less of meat a day, and for like 3 solid days there, I had to eat more than 4 pounds of meat a day. It was driving me crazy, and now I'm back to normal. Now it's just like two and a, maybe a little bit heavier, 2.25 pounds, 2.5 or something. But yeah, for like 3 solid days there, I ate 6 T-bones in one day. Like last week, I was like, what is going on?
It's funny because
So-
I think, wow, that sounds like a lot. But then I think about what I used to eat, and that was really a lot because I
Mhm.
never felt full.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I know. But I think about, I used to my daily back then when I just gave up and didn't care anymore, I would get 2 lattes in the morning, 2 iced lattes in the morning on my way to work, and I'd drink those. And then before I'd get to work, I'd stop the coffee, I'd get those. Then I'd go to the gas station, I'd get a couple of donuts, and I'd get like 4 Red Bulls for the day just to start. And then I'd order at lunch, I'd order DoorDash and usually get a Jersey Mike's giant sub. And then at night, I'd go eat like a Little Caesars pizza. That's terrible.
Been there. Yeah.
I can't remember if we said hello to Sarah or not. I noticed she said hello. How's everybody in the group doing? I
Hi,
wasn't
Sarah.
sure.
Thanks for tuning in.
Here we
Wanted
go.
to say hi to you.
Hey, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah. Thanks for tuning in.
So Greg, for your question for me, I don't know if I eat more as it gets colder. Well, it really hasn't got colder here yet. I live in Virginia. We have a tropical storm coming, I guess, though. So
Saw
that,
that.
yeah, Saturday it's only supposed to be like 68 degrees or something because the storm is coming through.
Wow.
It's been like mostly 80s and 90s, although we're starting to get some upper 70s right now here and there, so it's cooling a little bit, I guess. But it's still, Virginia can be weird. I mean, there literally was one year on Christmas Day we were outside in shorts and it was 80 degrees. And then there's been years where like a week after Christmas we got like 10, 12 inches of snow. So Virginia is weird. I don't know.
In,
But,
2001 here, it snowed 2.5 feet in July.
That's got to be horrible in July. Oh man.
It actually caused a massive amount because the trees had leaves on them, so it ripped all these trees down because it was wet, heavy snow. It just caused a terrific amount of damage.
I bet you're
Oh,
seeing some
God.
colder weather already being in Montana.
Yeah, I mean
Probably.
it's only about 60 degrees. I mean, my air conditioner set at 61. I don't put a coat on until it's like 20 degrees outside. So it's up until 20. It's still shortcut and t-shirt weather.
I think it was 47 here this morning,
Oh,
but it got up to 70,
Ooh.
69 or 70 today.
Where are you at?
Wow.
Oregon.
Oregon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Bozeman, Montana, and we're right at about 5,500 feet in elevation, and it gets cold. Well, last year we had some 35, 40 below, weeks. It was pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
So I was gonna say, by the way, the one thing that I wonder is like as the weather kind of changes, and I don't know if it's necessarily a thing about us as humans trying to adapt to it, but it seems like maybe part of it is like holidays coming up, but it seems like that's when we got to be more careful about snacking and junk food and
Yeah.
stuff like that. And there's
So
something I'm
easy.
gonna bring up here really quick that I want to show you all. So let me figure out how to present this again. Share my screen. All right. So I don't know how well does this look. Okay, I don't know how good you can really see this. Let me see if I can increase this a little more. All right, how does that look? That's a little bit better.
I think I saw this on one
So,
of your videos. Yeah.
Yes, I did a video about this. This is Dunkin' Donuts website and frozen coffee sugars, total sugars. Look at this. 168 grams on their blueberry cobbler large coffee. And that's one of the lower ones for a large. Butter pecan swirl. I saw a YouTube short earlier today. This guy was like, yeah, I'm having the butter pecan swirl. Well, guess what? He just had 181 grams of sugar in that one drink.
Wow.
It was
Just drinking it.
It was funny because my daughter had sent me a picture of their pumpkin spice one, and I think that's the one you did your video on, if I remember right.
Yeah, it's the pumpkin swirl one, frozen coffee.
And she's like, "Is that the one that has all the sugar?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it is."
Yeah, here it is: pumpkin swirl, frozen coffee, even with skim milk. Doesn't matter if it's skim milk or whole milk. 185 grams of sugar. Now, that's the large. The medium is 142, and the small is 98. But
golly.
there are people out there getting the large, 185 grams of sugar. And when you look at all these are all their frozen coffees. Like, look at this. The lowest literally is the 92 right here. The small toffee nut frozen cream coffee. 92 grams of sugar. That's the lowest amount of sugar in one of their frozen coffee drinks. It's crazy.
Did you ever hear
When
that?
I work,
Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, when I worked for Royal Caribbean's call center here in Eugene, that was the main thing our team would do. It would be, we're ordering from Dutch Bros, which is, I don't know if you guys have those where you are, but that's like a Starbucks or whatever. And I mean, I'm like, I don't drink coffee or any of that stuff. It was so full of sugar. I'm like, what are you people doing? We sit around all day. You can't.
Yeah. Did you ever hear that talk about how, the human body, like a perfect metabolically healthy human body has, we all have about 5 liters of blood, but has 1 tablespoon of glycogen or sugar in the blood, and that's a perfectly healthy body. And if you just double that to 2 tablespoons of sugar, it's an absolute, it's death. You are dead. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, so we're talking about,
Got to be carefully controlled. Yep.
Yeah. And so when we wonder why our body freaks out when we put, 200 tablespoons of sugar in it a day, by the time, if you're drinking, like I bet I was, because I was drinking 4 energy drinks. I was drinking soda all day. On top of that, I was drinking the iced coffees, those very ones you're talking about right there. It's probably 100, 200 tablespoons of sugar every day, just incredible.
Can I tell a story?
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. So when we were moving from Coos Bay to Eugene, we came up to go house hunting, and we stayed at a hotel that was by an IHOP. And that morning we took the kids to get, breakfast there because it was closed. And I had like pancakes and orange juice. And this was me in the car. I felt like I had gotten drunk. It was so bad. So I don't know how people can constantly drink those drinks, because I wasn't usually an orange juice drinker, but
yeah. Well,
I
I gotta tell you,
that way ever again.
The video I did about that drink, it was the pumpkin swirl, whatever, frozen coffee one, 185 grams of sugar, and I listed out comparisons of some different things. It was something like the equivalent of Yeah, it was like 10 of like the ones with the cream filled donuts, like 14 glazed donuts, the equivalent of 14 glazed donuts in that one coffee drink.
Wow. Yeah.
Insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I
Here's a
don't know.
question. How do we get This is from Sarah. How do we get people unaddicted to all that sugar? It's just become so normal for people, but I got over it and so did you all. There's hope.
Yeah, there is. I was gonna actually make a video on this because I love Kelly Hogan. Her channel's awesome, and she's been hit. I found just been hearing her talk about something that I think I did accidentally, and I got to get brushed up on the right terminology she was talking about. But basically, I had a I had a system that I built for several reasons when I was going through the beginning and the carb addiction and going through the withdrawals and stuff. But I just had like an emergency protocol where when those cravings would hit you so bad, and it was, for me, the cravings would not only be just crazy amount of cravings, but I'd just get super depressed and full of anxiety and just felt terrible. And you just feel like, oh, there's no way I'm going to be able to do this. I can't keep up with this type of thing. But I was starting to understand that was just some kind of, chemical thing going on in my brain. And so I just, I wrote it in my journal. I made myself notes. I had it on next to my chair that I was sleeping in, and a little note to remind me that whenever that happened, before I had made any decisions, I just had to cook a ribeye or bacon and eat that until I was full. And at the time, the reason why I was doing that was because I read how you have two types of appetite control in your body. One is leptin, but when you're insulin resistant, your body does, your brain doesn't receive leptin signals, so you don't have leptin sensitivity. But the other one is the stretch markers in your stomach, which is why people like me and in my family would eat till we're full, because that would shut the brain off and tell you you could stop eating. So my idea was, if I stretched out my stomach with steak, I would trigger those stretch sensors and shut the signal off in my mind, and that would kill it. And that definitely worked. But what I noticed was, the more that I did that, the more my cravings and my taste buds would change. And I started when I first did this, I didn't like meat all that much. I didn't like steak. It was okay, but I liked meat when it was on a pizza or in a taco or on pasta, but I was not a huge just meat fan. But that changed and I started craving it. And what Kelly Hogan was talking about was that there's a real upside to those addictive cravings, that when you do just what I was doing accidentally, but when you do that, you get some, so that craving, in which I got to thinking about, and this is definitely true. If you think back when you're in your old lifestyle and you would have a craving for something and you were going to go feed it, maybe you're going to a restaurant or a drive-through or whatever, you'd start feeling happy going there. You would have like an endorphin fix, and that was called, what'd she call it? Like anticipatory endorphin fix or whatever. But you can kind of game that or hack that signal in your brain to, when you're having those cravings real bad, there's an upside to it, because if you do eat the meat, your brain will start associating that with those cravings, and you will start changing your taste buds and craving those meats. Because I kept telling my sister and stuff, like, this is crazy, because I didn't think I was ever going to like meat, and now I'm starting to get ravenous for meat instead of sugar. And the more that I got ravenous for meat, the less that I had carb cravings. It just went away,
Yeah. Anybody else have any thoughts on how to get people unaddicted to sugar?
To this thought, it's very difficult, because we have this big food just absolutely marketing their way into your brain, making these hyper palatable foods. And unless medical establishments start saying sugar addiction is real, this is causing metabolic syndrome, it's the underlying cause of so many diseases, and people get on board with that, I'm not sure you can make that huge change. I'm not sure they even want to because of how they get paid. I know there are people that are more eloquent about talking about that, like, Dr. Chafee and stuff, but
Mm.
I agree with him 100%. So this grassroots movement will get some of them, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think that the more we normalize this, I was on, man, I'm trying to remember Carnivore Cookout with Carnivore Today and those guys, Buckeye. And they asked me, because they couldn't believe that when I got into ketosis the first time that I'd never heard of carnivore, but they asked me if I'd ever heard of Atkins. And I did hear of Atkins back then, but that was a taboo diet, right? Everybody said that it's just that it's the fad diet of all fad diets.
Fad.
It's,
Mm-hmm.
it's silly, and so that propaganda, the propaganda that the big food has built to push people away from what's real is amazing. And I honestly think they know. I think I asked this question and I want to get into it with people, but I don't want to be labeled some sort of conspiracy theorist, but I'm not sure how much I care of that either. But I don't think it's an accident that they're blaming global warming on cows either. You know what I mean?
It's not.
I think they're purposely attacking what they know is going to heal us. They're
Yeah.
purposely attacking the greatest opposition they have to this drug addiction, sugar addiction, pharmacy addiction crap that we got going on. And it's a ton of propaganda. And that's why I keep saying I'm looking so forward. And this is why I love doing these lives and stuff and talking to people like-minded, because it keeps me so, just hyper focused on the fact that I cannot wait until I am, down 450 pounds. And, I like, we're kind of a small community, so thousands of people know me. I work for a company where just everybody knows me, and they've always seen me as 600, 700 pound person. And I cannot wait to be 250 pounds and then listen to them try to tell me what I did was bad,
Oh, you ruined your health.
Yeah. Like, I can't wait to
Proof's
have
in the
all
pudding.
yeah, like, I
beef
can't wait
pudding.
to have all of those conversations, because to me,
Yeah.
that's going to be, that's going to be the biggest diamond in the rough for my life, is being able to stand in front of those people that were all, that were always looking at me like I was a dead man walking and feeling bad for me and wanting me to do something for my health. And now I can say I did it, and this is what I did. And they're all going to, they already are freaking out, going, that can't be helping. I'm glad that you're losing weight, but your heart, your cholesterol, your blah, 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 blah. And the longer they see me live and thrive and get healthier, the more that's going to open that door. And they're going to be the ones that are having the sugar brain fog. And they're the ones that are going to keep going down this road, and their health is going to be deteriorating. And they're going to have to ask, they're going to have to ask. And I think that's how we beat this thing,
So DC Learning to Live says hello. And
Howdy.
then
Hey,
doing?
Greg.
Nice to have you here.
Greg, we haven't asked your thoughts on that question about getting people unaddicted to sugar. So what do you think?
I think until people wake up and see it for themselves, it's going to be a challenge. We just got to keep, we just got to be out here planting seeds, and hopefully people start watering the seeds and they understand and get it. Obviously more of us that talk about it, the more success we're going to have. I mean, it reminds me of a video I'm actually going to be making, because I was at the grocery store. Actually, the other night I went into Aldi, and I don't know if you guys are familiar with Aldi or not, but it's a different experience going to the grocery store now. And most of the stuff you walk by, and I was kind of by the section where, there's oils, the flours, the sugar. I stopped and stood back and took a picture of the sugar and flour. They were both on pallets, and it was the cheapest thing in the store. And I said, there's a problem with this, because there's a full pallet display for each. And I'm like, this is poison, and it's killing people. Yet it's the most easily, readily available thing to buy. So it kind of
Yeah.
tells you all you need to know when you walk in the store and you start looking at the aisle, just like cereal. There's a full aisle dedicated to cereal. And that's not healthy for you. It's full of sugar. You got all the grains in there. You look at a grocery store very differently now, and you realize how much of it, 95% of it is just crap, stuff you should not eat.
Totally.
And I think until people see that and come to that conclusion, it's going to take them a while. But like I said, if we're out here planting seeds, hopefully, one by one, we pick people up and they understand, oh, I get what these people are talking about. And then, like I said, the proof is in the beef pudding. When you have people come up and say, hey, I've lost a couple 100 pounds. Well, how'd you do that? It's going to open some eyes up, I think.
Yeah.
Totally. How can they possibly argue it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just going to give you guys a quick game update. The game just
30 to
ended,
12.
and the final is 30-12. San Francisco won. So that's where the football game ends tonight.
All right.
Yeah. That's about what I expected too, really, to be honest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
That's reasonable.
So I want to go back to something you said though, the cereal. What gets me is some of those cereals literally on the box say heart healthy,
Heart
and,
healthy.
and right under it lowers cholesterol and stuff like that.
You think of Cheerios and the way they were marketed.
Yeah.
Oh, these are healthy to eat.
So
And then you get sick.
I don't know if you guys saw this, but Dr. Sean Baker had this on, I think it was Instagram earlier, probably on more social media than just Instagram, but I noticed on Instagram, there was a study that recently came out of Sweden, I think, and they, it was a long multi-year study, whatever, and it was something like 80, I don't want to say the exact number, but it was like 85 or 86% of females that had, in this study, that had high cholesterol and low glucose levels lived to be 100 years old, at least 100 years old.
Wow.
So that
Yeah,
is a lie
makes
about
sense.
cholesterol. Let me tell
Yeah.
you.
You need high cholesterol.
Yes.
You do.
Yes.
You do. You know what a scam that is too? Like, I forget the guy's name now, but he did a whole study on it.
Ansel Keys?
No, I know Ansel
Okay.
Keys is the one that
Okay.
came, the scam of the 7-country study. No, this was a guy, he was actually an engineer, and he was trying to figure out what the real story was on cholesterol. But what he found out, he did a pretty extensive study, and the fastest way you can raise your cholesterol is to fast, because you're not putting animal cholesterol in your body, so your body makes up for that fat, and it raises your own cholesterol. And when you think about it, these doctors make you fast before
They make
all
you
your blood
fast.
work. Yep.
Yeah.
They make you fast, so your cholesterol is actually abnormally high when you go in for a blood test, just so that they can sell you the stupid drugs. So this guy went and tricked his doctor, and before he went in, when he was doing these studies, before he went in, he ate a big bunch of bacon and burger, and his cholesterol was on the floor. It was super low because he had just taken in all this animal fat, so his body stopped making cholesterol. And so the doctor's like, whatever you're doing, keep it up. It's great, And he was just showing how manipulative those blood tests are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. DC says low cholesterol studies came out in the 1990s, 2013 and 2019, linking low cholesterol to depression, anxiety, and even suicide. Yeah, I remember seeing something
confirm.
about that. Dude. I saw something about that posted today too. I don't
My-
maybe even
my-
DC was the one that posted that. I don't remember.
My depression and anxiety got so much worse when I was on a statin. And that's why I told my doctor I would not go back on one.
I had never been more depressed in my life before I found keto by accident, I was on a high protein, low fat, moderate carbohydrate diet. And that was the most depressed and suicidal I'd ever been in my life. Like, it was absolutely miserable. It was the worst 14 months of my life. And I wasn't even, I thought that was something I was going to have forever. I never had any idea that had anything to do with diet. And just as a complete bonus on carnivore, it completely went away. It shocked me to death. Could not believe it.
It's great. All right, so we are hitting 3.5 hours on this live stream.
Look at us go.
The game is over. And I
Carnivores
have
can
to work in the
talk all
morning.
night.
For me, it's 11:30 because I'm Eastern time zone, so it's 11:30 p.m. I have to work in the morning.
You
So
should be in bed, man.
yeah, I think we're gonna wind it down here now. First of all, I want to thank John Carnivore Backwoods for coming on earlier on the show. I know he had to leave a little bit earlier, but I want to thank him. Becky, you've been here most of almost the entire 3.5
Yeah,
hours. I think
pretty
you've been
much.
here with us.
Yeah, I came on
So
pretty
thank
early.
you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you.
And Todd,
to do so.
for
It's only
coming on
8:30
as
here.
well. Todd,
Thanks for having
coming
me.
on.
I sure appreciate it, man. This was fun.
Me too.
Yeah, and
This is only my
Greg,
second live.
Oh, there you go. Good.
Get there.
Greg, this is the second week in a row that we've done this, and I think we're gaining momentum with this. So I look forward to doing this again next Thursday.
Yeah,
We'll
definitely.
probably bring on some guests again.
We did get a few more comments come in too. It looks like if you wanted to share those.
What do we got here? All right, let's see. High protein, low fat diets also lead to rabbit starvation.
I've never been hungrier than that diet. That was the most depressed, hungriest, miserable diet I've ever been on. I can say that without a fact. The only silver lining was that I feel like it had gotten me really close to ketosis just because I was only eating 150 grams of carbs a day. And so that's why when I did finally eat just ribeye for a day, I just went into ketosis really quick.
Yep. I'm not sure.
He's
for you,
referring to
Becky.
the women's shirts that he put on the website.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll head over there in a little bit.
Okay, cool. Eric
Maybe
says
tomorrow.
the white matter of your brain is made of cholesterol.
Yes. It needs it.
All right. So we're right at 3.5 hours here. So
All right, guys.
I'm going to say thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody that's watched throughout the 3.5 hours. I'm sure most people weren't on the entire time, but that's fine. And everybody that's going to watch this afterwards and so forth. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next Thursday for another edition of Low Carb Football Party.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Take care.